Kia ora, g'day, hello and welcome to wherever you are in the world watching this. I am Dr. Unexplained, and yes, the doctor is in the house. Today, for my first dual stream to my accounts at Twitch TV and YouTube, we take a moment to talk about bullying, what constitutes it, and how we can work together to put an end to bullying. First of all, thank you for tuning in. Please take a second to smash that follow or subscribe button, depending on the platform you're watching this from. And if you're ever so grateful, do the same on my social medias, both at Facebook and Twitter, where you can find me at Dr. Unexplained. Your support for this venture is greatly appreciated. This channel will feature streams just like this, as well as streams on gaming, music, movie, all those type of reviews. We'll also be having some fun on here as the channel progresses. If you're subscribing on YouTube, don't forget to hit that bell notification icon, so that way you can be notified whenever I upload a brand new video. So the topic we're talking about today, we're talking about bullying. It is a global epidemic. It continues to cause issues and tragically ends the lives of many young people of the world who just can't take the constant bullying anymore. Which indicates that it is something you, me, and everyone else who clicks upon this video should work towards stamping out. As you would have realised by now, I speak with a lisp, which only affects my S's. It's been something that I've had my entire life, and no matter how much speech therapy I had, it just didn't correct itself. For this reason, it should become as no surprise to you that I was bullied from a young age. In fact, thinking back about it, my first actual bully was a teacher at a school that I attended while growing up in New Zealand. As you got into the higher levels at that school, before heading into intermediate and onto high school, some of the students had the opportunity to collect the lunch orders back in those days. And yes, I'm probably showing my age a little bit here, but not all schools had the canteen or tuck shops or whatever you called them in your country. So we would go collect the lunch orders, and it was our role to go to the shop next door, drop off the lunch orders. Old Treffer, who owned the shop, would then prepare the lunch orders, bag them up, and it'd be our job to go collect them, take them back to school just prior to the bell, which in a way was pretty cruel for those who didn't get a lunch order. It started to smell all the food throughout the classroom and make you extremely hungry. Anyway, this one teacher, every time I'd walk in on a Thursday, which was fish and chips day, a staple food in New Zealand, would repeat what I said, putting a huge emphasis on the S's with a slur, like my lists and having a laugh. This resulted in all the children of her class repeating it, even in the school playground during breaks. Over the years at intermediate and high school, after I moved to Australia, things got worse, but really she was my first bully. Recent statistics made available here in Australia show that 1 in every 10 pupils in Australian schools have been the victim of bullying. As technology becomes more readily available to children, reports of cyberbullying continue to rise. And one of the most damning statistics show that victims of bullying are 9 times more likely to either attempt or contemplate attempting suicide. This is why you and I together need to come up with ways to prevent bullying. But how can you prevent something if you don't really understand what it is? I mean, growing up, cyberbullying wasn't a big thing. Back in my day, once again, not everyone had a computer, and if they did, it was something along the lines of a Commodore 64, where you'd be putting those little A discs into the drive and loading up games like a Rockstar 8, My Hamster, or Paperboy, or something along those lines. And so for many, especially of my generation and older, the knowledge of cyberbullying and how much it can actually affect is a little known commodity. The definition of bullying, as defined by the Australian Federal Government, that's used in Australian schools, is an ongoing misuse of power in relationships through repeated verbal, physical and or social behaviour that causes physical and or psychological harm. It can involve an individual or a group misusing their power over one or more persons. Bullying can happen in person or online, and it can be obvious or hidden. Bullying of any form, for any reason, can have a long-term effect on those involved, including the bystanders. Behaviours that do not constitute bullying include mutual arguments or disagreements where there is no power imbalance, not liking someone or a single act of social rejection, one-off acts of meaningless or spite, or isolated incidents of aggression, intimidation or violence. So basically, bullying has 3 main features. It involves the misuse of power in a relationship, it is an ongoing and repeated offence, and it involves behaviours that can cause harm. As we are all online, we will look more towards cyberbullying. And I want to do this because if you're being bullied at school, at least you can get away from it when it's time to go home. You can have a break over the weekend or the school holidays. However, cyberbullying is relentless and can be active 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Cyberbullying affects many adolescents and teenagers on a daily basis. It involves using technology, like mobile phones and the internet, to bully or harass another person. Cyberbullying can take many forms, including sending mean messages or threats to a person's email account or mobile phone, spreading rumours online or through text messages, posting hurtful or threatening messages on social media and networking websites, stealing a person's account information to break into their account and send damaging messages, pretending to be someone else online to hurt another person, taking unflattering pictures of a person and spreading them through mobile phones or the internet, sexting or circulating sexually suggestive pictures or messages about a person. Cyberbullying can lead to anxiety, depression, or as we've previously discussed, even suicide. Once things are circulated on the internet, they may never disappear, resurfacing at later times to renew the pain of the victim. Many cyberbullies think that bullying others online is funny. Cyberbullies may not realise the consequences for themselves as they cyberbully. Teens may think that if they use a fake name, that they won't get caught. But there are many ways to track someone who is cyberbullying. Over half of the adolescent population have been bullied online, and about the same number have engaged in cyberbullying. Well, half of the young people do not tell their parents when cyberbullying occurs. 95% of teens that witness bullying on social media report that others, like them, have ignored the behaviour. Only 1 out of every 6 parents of adolescents are aware of the scope and intensity of cyberbullying that's happening today. Over 25% of adolescents and teens have been bullied repeatedly through their mobile phones or on the internet. More than 1 in 3 have experienced cyber threats online. 11% of adolescents and teens report that embarrassing or damaging photographs have been taken of them without their knowledge or their consent. For us, as we tune into YouTube videos and channels such as that of Professor or Introlsive, between them they have over 900,000 subscribers, and they hit games such as Fortnite, Minecraft and GTA 5. Some of the most popular games amongst all age groups that do this, that play games. What they do is called trolling. Trolling, according to the Urban Dictionary, means the art of deliberately, cleverly and secretly pissing people off, usually via the internet using dialogue. Trolling does not mean making rude remarks such as shouting swear words at someone. That's not trolling, it's just flaming, and it isn't funny. Spam isn't trolling either, it pisses people off, and it's lame. Much of the content from Professor and Introlsive come from the younger children who get triggered when they are trolled, along the lines of having their sky bases destroyed, weapons stolen, or simply not being revived when they are knocked down. And it is quite amusing to watch, I agree. Introlsive has on many occasions through his videos shown himself talking to his victims at the completion of his video, explaining that this is just for a video, which calms most of his victims down, more times than not. The victim of the troll feels excited that they are going to appear on a viral video. But there are some copycat wannabes out there who always take it that step too far. They don't explain to their victims it's for a video, or continuously go after the same victim on numerous occasions, normally titling their video, or at least putting in the intro that I have trolled this kid before, but it was great content, so I came back to him. I won't mention names here, because those people, they don't deserve more attention. And they sure as hell don't deserve more subscribers to encourage them to continue their acts. These acts of trolling, while can be funny, can also be seen as cyberbullying. However, most are aware of the line they shouldn't cross, and they keep it on the right side of that. Messing with someone's game won't cost them a win. Like, that's one thing. Personal attacks on someone is just messed up, and is mainly designed for your very own lols. Trolls of this nature are often seen to be insecure people who want to boost their burst confidence by asserting their dominance over people they consider sensitive, or at least exploitable enough to being hurt. But cyberbullying is a lot more than trolling. In 2017, a number of adult entertainment stars took their own lives after being relentlessly bullied on social media accounts, such as 23-year-old Canadian-born entertainer August Ames, who committed suicide in December of 2017 after being bullied on Twitter for refusing to perform with a man who had previously done gay pornography. People with high public profile are ridiculed for every decision they make. It beated the public eye with social media accounts established to connect with their fans. It makes them an easier target for cyberbullying. With hundreds of thousands of followers, all it takes is one message or post on the social media accounts for others to join in the fun of ridiculing them. As is the case of Mercedes, not to mention countless other celebrities. These posts then snowball, with thousands of people voicing their displeasure at the post, or decisions the celebrity has made, and join in on the trolling, mainly because they think it's funny. But these celebrities, they have the money and the means to seek support, or to hire social media managers who take over their accounts and weed out the trolls and the abusers. Everyday normal people, like you and me, we don't have that luxury. We are forced to fight these battles alone. Teenagers and those of younger age are at a higher risk, as they don't have the life experience that you and I may have. They don't have the experience to comprehend what is happening and how to deal with such events or postings in an effective way. All it takes is, in this technology age, is someone to become the target. It's as simple as getting a photo taken of your hair done, your nails done, or hanging out with friends and posting it on social media. You might have a secret crush on a boy in your class. You might also like one of your friends' boyfriends and girlfriends. But this is all it takes that can result in becoming a target for vicious online bullying. It takes just one post, someone either trying to be funny or mean, with others on their friends list, then seeing the post, or knowing the meaning behind it, on accounts such as Facebook and Twitter, and that then leads to those friends posting in an effort to have their friends' backs, and here the snowball effect begins. Friends of those friends then join in and post and comment, also to help have their friends back. Even if they don't know the original person, they usually repeat or at least post along the same lines as what their friends have had to say. And while for many it could be for a laugh, the person the original post was about all of a sudden notices they have 20, 100, 150 posts directed at them, turns into they're an ugly mutt or a slut. By now, the bullying is well and truly in place, because this original person, all of a sudden, has no proper recourse. It is way too late. If they delete the post or turn the comments off, another 10 posts will immediately appear, sometimes directly aimed at them. Other times the post using the same picture that they've shared with a different comment, calling them out for not being able to handle the truth. With every second teenager now having a smartphone device, their numbers also shoot around quite easily, and the bullying continues through text messages, phone calls, prank calls at all hours of the night. Due to many families umming and ahhing as to whether they should get the phone in the first place, or the laptop, or the iPad, these young persons don't want to bring it up to their parents, in case that device is taken away from them. This usually leads to two roads that they can take. The first is trying to handle the issues themselves and fight back, engaging in a message war with these bullies. This normally results in them being confronted at school, out in public, or another location where 30 people are now surrounding them, forcing them to fight with someone who's partaken in posting these messages. The second, unfortunately, is that they take the old adage of just walking away. However, the snowball effect continues to roll, with the snowball getting bigger and bigger every day that goes past. Sometimes, no matter what they post after the original post, they have a gang of keyboard warriors who post negative comments on absolutely everything, which leads to the victim feeling they have no choice of bringing it all to an end. They slip into depression, they may suffer from anxiety, and see no option but to take their own lives. You must be sitting there watching this and thinking, all of this information, no matter how relevant, what can we do about it to put it all to an end? Put an end to cyberbullying, and more importantly, reduce the ultimately end of the suicide rate in teenagers.